Today we are reading from Bhagavad Gita. We are reading from Bhagavad Gita, 3rd chapter, 30th shloka. मयि सर्वाणि कर्माणि संन्यासध्यात्मचेतसा निराशीर्निर्ममो भूत्वा युध्यस्व विगतज्वरः मयि सर्वाणि कर्माणि संन्यासध्यात्मचेतसा निराशीर्निर्ममो भूत्वा युद्धस्व विगतज्वरः मयि सर्वाणि कर्माणि संन्यासध्यात्मचेतसा निराशीर्निर्ममो भूत्वा युद्धस्व विगतज्वरः. Any devotee wants to repeat?
मयि सर्वाणि कर्माणि संन्यासाध्यात्मचेतसा निराशीर्निर्ममो भूत्वा युध्यस्व विगतज्वरः
मयि सर्वाणि कर्माणि संन्यासाध्यात्मचेतसा निराशीर्निर्ममो भूत्वा युध्यस्व विगतज्वरः.
Synonyms: Mai, unto me, Sarvani, all sorts of, Karmani, activities, Sannyasya, giving up completely, Adhyatma, with full knowledge of the self, Chetasa, by consciousness, Nirashihi, without desire for profit, Nirmamaha, without ownership, Bhutva, so being, Yuddhasva, fight, Vigatajvaraha, without being lethargic. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Therefore, O Arjuna, surrendering all your works unto me with full knowledge of me, without desires for profit, with no claims to proprietorship, and free from lethargy, fight. Purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. So it's very important purport, so let us carefully read. This verse clearly indicates the purpose of the Bhagavad Gita. The Lord instructs that one has to become fully Krishna conscious to discharge duties as if in military discipline. Such an injunction may make things a little difficult. Nevertheless, duties must be carried out with dependence on Krishna, because that is the constitutional position of the living entity. The living entity cannot be happy independent of the cooperation of the Supreme Lord, because the eternal constitutional position of the living entity is to become subordinate to the desires of the Lord. Arjuna was therefore ordered by Sri Krishna to fight as if the Lord were his military commander. One has to sacrifice everything for the goodwill of the Supreme Lord and at the same time discharge prescribed duties without claiming proprietorship. Arjuna did not have to consider the order of the Lord, he had only to execute his order. The Supreme Lord is the soul of all souls. Therefore, one who depends solely and wholly on the Supreme Soul without personal consideration, or in other words, one who is fully Krishna conscious, is called Adhyatma Chetas. Nirashi means that One has to act on the order of the master but should not expect futile results. The cashier may count millions of dollars for his employer, but he does not claim a cent for himself. Similarly, one has to realize that nothing in the world belongs to any individual person, but that everything belongs to the Supreme Lord. That is the real purpose of Mai or unto me. And when one acts in such Krishna consciousness, certainly he does not claim proprietorship over anything. This consciousness is called Nirmama or nothing is mine. And if there is any reluctance to execute such an stern order, which is without consideration of so-called kinsmen in the body relationship, that reluctance should be thrown off. In this way, one may become Vigata Jara or without feverish mentality or lethargy. Everyone, according to his quality and position, has a particular type of work to discharge, and all such duties may be discharged in Krishna consciousness as described above. That will lead one to the path of liberation. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavansya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakha Vidamsya Namo Shubhadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatadeshatarine Namo Mahavananyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gauratashe Namah He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Shri Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanuste Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpataruvescha Kripa Sindhubhya Eva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta-vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So first of all, I take blessings of my senior devotees, in this case, Murli Guruji, Mataji. So it's a service. I would speak on the shloka. So it's been requested by Prabhuji, in this case, Damodar Priya Prabhuji. So as such, I am not at all qualified for this. So, but for my own purification, for my own benefit, for better understanding of Bhagavad Gita, so I would speak a few words. And especially this section of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is telling Arjuna that Arjuna is thinking that I am the doer. I am going to fight and I am going to win. But Krishna is telling, no, you are just a nimitt matra, you are just an instrument. So here actually I am also sitting as such on Vyasasana, but just as an instrument of parampara, so just to represent the parampara. So I beg mercy of all Vaishnavas so that the correct words come and I should properly represent the teachings of parampara. Hare Krishna. So this purport is very, very important purport. It's one of the highlighted purport in the Bhagavad Gita. Okay. So in this shloka, so I have made a few points. so in this shloka, if we just carefully see, Prabhupada is translating what all Krishna is expecting from Arjuna. So Krishna is telling several things. So this is a translation. So Krishna is expecting 5 things. Okay. So first of all is surrendering all your work unto me. So Arjuna is expected to, we are expected to surrender all our work unto Krishna. Plus, not just that, with full knowledge of Krishna consciousness. Okay. And third thing, without desire for profit. Fourth thing, with no claims to proprietorship. And fifth thing, one should not be lazy. One should not be lethargic to work. Okay. So same thing, translation is there. So Prabhupada is explaining here very nicely. This very powerful purport. So Prabhupada says this verse clearly indicates the purpose of the Bhagavad Gita. Okay. So the whole Bhagavad Gita, which has 700 shlokas, so this is the shloka which represents the purpose of Bhagavad Gita. So what is the purpose of Bhagavad Gita? This is the purpose actually. Surrendering our work to Krishna. So why Bhagavad Gita was spoken? What is the context? Arjuna, he is actually the greatest fighter. All over the planet. See, we have to understand, these Pandavas were not just some people working in company or something like that. They are actually the leaders. They are like the top leaders of the whole planet. So all over the world, people are looking toward them. Whatever they do, people understand that and people try to copy that actually. And they are the leaders. And Arjuna himself was such a powerful warrior. He himself alone was equal to army actually. So there were actually several 100 million people fought in the Kurukshetra war. Okay, not just 1,000, 10,000 or 20,000. And in the Pandavas army, in Kaurava's army there was Bhishma, there was Karna, there was Dronacharya, Kripacharya, so many people. But in Pandava's army there was only one major person. Who was that? Krishna was there. Krishna was not fighting, right? So who was the major person fighting? Arjuna. Now try to understand, we are, let's say, on the Pandava side and Arjuna is there, and suddenly Arjuna says, I will not fight. So what is the hope actually? And Arjuna is getting depression actually. He's getting into confusion. Just like if we sometimes we go to do some big seva, some big services there, and when lot of difficulties come, suddenly comes in mind, why I'm doing it all. So same thing Arjuna is facing actually. So he is with Krishna, Sometimes you think, okay, Arjuna is with Krishna, what is the problem? Krishna is just in front of him. What is so problem? Now, if I would be there, I would have thought. But we have to understand what Arjuna is tackling with actually. So whole life they have gone through so many troubles, One after other trouble, they have gone to Vanvas and they have tolerated. So Krishna is with them, but they never, Arjuna will never tell, okay, Krishna, you are God, something you do. Why we are suffering so much? We are your devotees, So everybody is thinking us to be devotee, but you are torturing us so much, Why can't you just resolve our problem? Arjuna is not saying like that. So they are simply tolerating because Lord is asking them to tolerate. Now this war situation came, and it's a huge war actually. So Arjuna at this time he get confused. Should I do this service or not? Should I act upon this or not? So he got confused. So that's why Krishna very systematically explained to Arjuna what is actually bhakti, what is karma, what is yoga, what is jnana. Everything Krishna explains, and gradually Krishna brings the conclusion to the 18th chapter that sarva dharman parityajya Maam ekam sharanam vraja aham tam sarva papavi mokshasami vasacha. You simply fight. Nimitt matra bhava sabya sachi. You have to just fight. You just follow my order. That is the best thing you can do. That is your dharma. But amazingly, if you see, almost in all purports, if you read Bhagavad Gita, how many of you have read some portion of Bhagavad Gita? Nice. So devotees can plan to read more. So yeah. So if we see all purports of Bhagavad Gita, Prabhupada is again bringing the same point. What is the point? What is the purpose of Bhagavad Gita? This is the purpose. Here only Krishna is telling. Surrendering all our work unto Krishna with full knowledge of Krishna. So that is the thing. And same thing Prabhupada brings in purport. So Prabhupada सभी तात्पर्यों में बार बार यही बात दिखाते हैं कि हमको कार्य करना है, कार्य छोड़ना नहीं है, बट परंतु हमको कार्य भगवान के लिए करना है ना? तो अभी हम आज देखेंगे कि इसको प्रैक्टिकल कैसे इम्प्लीमेंट कर सकते हैं, है ना? तो इसमें प्रभुपाद बोल रहे हैं क्या, द लॉर्ड इंस्ट्रक्ट दैट वन हैज़ टू बिकम फुल्ली कृष्णा कॉन्शियस टू डिस्चार्ज ड्यूटीज एज इफ इन मिलिट्री डिसिप्लिन। ओके, यहाँ पे कोई है जो मिलिट्री में काम किया हो या फिर कोई किसी के रिलेटिव हो मिलिट्री में? नहीं। तो मैं प्रभु जी हैं, हिज कनाई ठाकुर प्रभु जी। तो प्रभु जी बता रहे थे कि उनके रिलेटिव हैं मिलिट्री में, तो उन्होंने भगवत गीता लिजाकर को दिखाया कि ये मिलिट्री डिसिप्लिन है, ये क्या है एक्चुअली। कोई बता सकता है मिलिट्री डिसिप्लिन प्रभुपाद यहाँ पे क्यों लिखे हैं, इसका क्या मतलब हो सकता है?
Devotional service in discipline.
You cannot question what has been ordered to you. You have to simply accept.
Yes, very nice. We can clap for Prabhu ji. Very good. Prabhu ji also told very nicely. So, but yeah, this is the major point. You know how it is in this military. Military में कैसा होता है, आप गन लेकर जा रहे हैं ना, और रात को भी जब सैनिक सोते हैं तो गन, बूट्स, कैप सब कुछ हेलमेट पहनकर ही सोता है, क्योंकि एनी टाइम रात को ऐसा नहीं है कि यू नो अभी 12 बज रहा है अभी हम आराम से सो सकते हैं, ऐसा नहीं, वहाँ पर कभी भी शूटिंग हो सकती है, एनी टाइम शूटिंग कैन स्टार्ट। So these people, they are while you know fighting only, in between they take rest, 10 minutes rest, 15 minutes rest, ऐसे चलता है। और उनका वॉकी टॉकी लगा रहता है, आपने देखा होगा शायद। तो उधर कमांडर उसमें बोलता रहता है, कमांडर जैसे अभी वो चल रहा है सैनिक, कमांडर ने बोला लाई डाउन, झुक जाओ, तो उसको ऐसा सोचने का नहीं है कि अभी है ना क्या करना है, इधर देखना उधर देखना फिर झुकना है, नहीं, उसको झुकना ही है, उसको दौड़ना है तो दौड़ना ही है। तो इस मिलिट्री डिसिप्लिन का मतलब क्या होता है, जब स्पिरिचुअल मास्टर का ऑर्डर आता है तो उसमें इंटेलिजेंस लगाने वाली बात नहीं है, सिंपली आपको एग्जीक्यूट करना है। सो दिस इज कॉल्ड एज मिलिट्री डिसिप्लिन। सो हियर अगेन प्रभुपाद सेड, या इस लाइन का अर्थ अगर ध्यान से सोचेंगे, सॉरी, so this line, Arjuna did not have to consider the order of the Lord, he had only to execute his order. Okay, so what does it mean? Krishna need not Arjuna need not think, okay, Krishna is telling this, should I do this, should I consult Dronacharya, should I consult him, or like that, it's not like that. अर्जुना को जो ऑर्डर भगवान ने बोला है वो एग्जैक्टली करना है, पर इस लेवल पर पहुंचने के लिए हमको टाइम लगता है, इसलिए भगवान ने पूरा भगवद गीता बोला है ना। तो इसलिए that's why Krishna is speaking this whole Bhagavad Gita, and that's why Prabhupada says such an injunction may make things a little difficult. Nevertheless, duties must be carried out with dependence on Krishna, because that is the constitutional position of the living entity. Okay, so here हाँ, इधर हम देख सकते हैं। So what is pure devotional service actually? Pure devotional service means working only for Krishna. Rishikena Rishikesha Sevanam Bhakti Ruchyate. So that is means pure devotional service. So also we discuss what do Prabhupada means by military discipline. Okay. So इसका document. Okay. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur gives different levels of practicing devotional service in family life. Okay, so he gives 4 levels of practicing devotional service in family life while doing the job. Okay, so first level is below Swanishtita stage. So in this stage, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that a devotee, he has started chanting. He is starting the chanting. He's chanting for a few years, but he is more interested in earning money. Okay, he is more interested in purchasing big house, big vehicle, or he is more interested in making his career. Maybe he is thinking of getting a better job in America or like that. So that is called as Swanishtita stage. So all of us, we might be at different stages, but we have to see what is the next stage. Okay, how I can improve myself. So that we have to see. So this is called as Swanishtita stage. This is called as Kanishta stage. Or one has started the bhajan kriya. right? So there are 9 stages of devotional service. Right? So in that, sadhu sangha, Shraddha, sadhu sangha and bhajan kriya. Right? So below Swanishtita stages, that stage person has started bhajan kriya, but person is on anartha nivritti kind of stage, but he's a lot of anarthas. For him, Krishna consciousness is a side business. अभी भक्ति भी चलता रहता है हमारा, पर हमारा जॉब ये सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट है. जॉब चले गया तो पूरा हिल जाते हैं. उनका जब नहीं हो पाता है, सुबह उठ नहीं पाते हैं, उनको ये चिंता खाती रहती है कि हमारा जॉब चले गया, ये क्या हो गया, पहाड़ टूट गया. अभी तो जब तक हमको जॉब नहीं मिल जाता तब तक भक्ति से संन्यास ले लिया. So it's called as Swanishtita stage. So this is very nice document made by Anjaney Sharma Prabhu. I wanted to show the document. So below Swanishtita stage means his sadhana get affected according to the job. Okay. So in his office life, if let's say there is a fight going on in the team and all, so his sadhana get fluctuate. कभी कभी हम देखते हैं, कभी कभी हमारा बहुत मन लगता है भक्ति में, है ना, पूरा ऊपर जाता है, कभी कभी बिल्कुल मन नहीं लगता, नीचे चले जाता है ना, तो ऐसे साइनोसॉइडल ऊपर नीचे होता रहता है ना. तो ये होता है, बट हमको आगे बढ़ना होता है, जो कि है स्वनिष्ठिता स्टेज, है ना. सो दिस इज कॉल्ड स्टेडीनेस, है ना. तो इसमें क्या होता है, डिवोटी ये जानता है कि क्या जानता है कि भक्ति बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. वो प्रभुपाद बुक्स पढ़ना स्टार्ट कर देता है ना, अच्छे से, और वो देखता है भगवद गीता पढ़ना स्टार्ट कर देता है, वो देखता है कि भक्ति बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, और मेरा ऑफिस लाइफ भी इंपॉर्टेंट है, मेरे को काम भी करना है. पर उसको पता है कि मेरे ऊपर और ऑफिस के ऊपर एक कंट्रोलर है. कौन है? कृष्णा. जो कि पहली स्टेज में डिवोटी को नहीं दिखता है ना. तो उसको ये दिखता है कि परमात्मा है, भगवान है, उसको थ्योरेटिकली पता है ना, भगवान है, तो उसको समझ में आता है. तो इस स्वनिष्ठिता स्टेज में वो कैसे भी करके अपने काम को एडजस्ट कर लेता है, ताकि उसकी भक्ति पर असर ना पड़े, उसका नुकसान ना हो, है ना. तो कृष्णा कॉन्शियसनेस शुड नॉट बी इफेक्टेड. सो और वो अपने स्टैंडर्ड्स को कम नहीं करता है, जैसे रोज भोग लगाना है, तुलसी पत्ता है ना, भगवान को भोग लगाना है, तो ये सब उसको मेंटेन रखता है, और अपने फैमिली मेम्बर्स को भी धीरे धीरे करके कृष्णा कॉन्शियसनेस देने लगता है. एंड वर्क इज सीन एज अ सर्विस टू कृष्णा. उसका काम जो है ऑफिस का भी जो है, वो एक रोजी रोटी नहीं है सिर्फ, वो भगवान के सेवा की तरह वो देखता है, क्योंकि जो भी पैसा आ रहा है उससे वो पूरा घर चला रहा है, भगवान को डोनेशन दे रहा है. दैट इज कॉल्ड एज डिवोशनल सर्विस. So he started, understanding this. His work is actually Krishna service. So he's getting transformed. So ऐसा भक्त ये हमको ये भी हमको प्रैक्टिस करना है कि ऐसा भक्त जो है काम करने से पहले जनरली अपनी साधना कंप्लीट कर लेता है. 16 hours chanting, मंगल आरती, hearing from Prabhupada, hearing from Guru Maharaj. So he is able to do that. So ऐसा भक्त जो है वो समझने लगता है कि जैसे कोई अमेज़ॉन में काम कर रहा है ना, तो अमेज़ॉन के किसी एम्प्लॉय को पूछेंगे कि आप कौन हैं, आप क्या करते हैं, वो सबसे पहले यही बोलेगा कि मैं अमेज़ॉन में काम करता हूँ, क्योंकि उसको अपनी आइडेंटिटी क्या लगती है, मैं अमेज़ॉन का दास हूँ. तो लोग आप देखेंगे गूगल के ऑफिस या फिर माइक्रोसॉफ्ट के ऑफिस के जाके सेल्फी खींचते हैं, क्योंकि उनको लगता है कि अगर मैं इससे ये बड़े कंपनी से आइडेंटिफाई करूँगा तो मैं भी बड़ा हो जाऊँगा. पर जो स्वनिष्ठिता स्टेज का जो भक्त है वो समझता है कि ये सब टेम्पररी है, ये सब टेम्पररी है. वो अपनी आइडेंटिटी भगवान के दास के समान समझने लगता है कि मैं आई एम कृष्ण दास. सो दिस इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. सो वी हैव टू सी इन आवर लाइफ हाउ मच वी आर रिकॉग्नाइज अवर सेल्फ एज कृष्ण दास. सो व्हेन वी टॉक टू न्यू पीपल, व्हाट कम्स आउट ऑफ अवर माउथ, दैट इज एक्चुअली व्हाट वी रिकॉग्नाइज. सो जनरली वी go to meet people. As soon as we meet people, we say, oh, I am this and this, and I am staying in HSR, this place, and I am I'm working in this Walmart, I'm working in Google. That means that's what you recognize yourself with. So, and after some time, let's say those people, some difficulty come in life, some job goes away or something, they become sad actually. So that's why we have to further progress. So, yeah. Okay. Now third stage you can see, this is a Parinishtita stage. This is called deep established steadiness. तो उसका क्या है, जो फेथ जो है भगवान के ऊपर वो बढ़ता जा रहा है ना. सो परिनिष्ठिता स्टेज मतलब इट्स अ वेरी मैच्योर स्टेज that devotion becomes the central identity of the life even while the person remains extremely active in the society. So there is a devotee who is very active in the society plus his devotion is very pakka, you know. So on that stage person is able to transform people, you know. In his office he is able to, you know, gift Bhagavad Gita, he is able to, you know, call people to the Bhagavad Gita program, you know. So here also, you know, some of the devotees would have called others, you know, please come to Bhagavad Gita program, you know, this program is going on. And this devotee's consciousness becomes firmly fixed in Krishna, you know. He is not affected by any job change or anything like that, you know. So professional becomes just a functional duty, you know. So Prabhupada speaks about the two types of duties, you know. First is our constitutional duty, second is our conditional duty. What is the first one? Constitutional. So what is this constitutional duty? Yeah, very nice. So first is Jivera Sarup Hoy Nitya Krishna Das. Second is conditional duty. You know? What is the conditional duty?
For the living external.
For the body. Because we are split soul, but we are sitting inside the body. You know, we cannot neglect the body. So there has to be some you know, functional duty also for the you know, maintenance of the body. You know? So in Parinishtita stage, a person understands that it's a very mature stage. Devotion becomes very identity of the life. You know. So even just like sometime you might have seen, you know, you might have devotees might have experienced. Sometimes in office, some person colleague call us, and we say, you know, yes, Prabhu, what do you want? so we think, you know, we are in you know, devotional with devotees. Suddenly we recognize that we are in office actually, no devotee. You know? So actually this is, our identity starts changing. So actually Krishna consciousness is all about changing our identity, understanding that I am Krishna Das actually. You know, I am not belong to this material world. So yeah. But still he continues his profession because he is able to give donations to the, you know, Lord service. He is able to connect more people. That's why he continues. You know? In this stage, Parinishtita stage, he is not at all interested in improving his career. That is called as Parinishtita stage. So he is not interested in you know, earning more and more money. Whatever comes, he just, you know, accept it. Okay? So there are many examples of such devotees in ISKCON actually. So actually ISKCON, you know, is not just some community, you know, where people come together and have some program and just go away. You know? ISKCON is a community of very, very advanced Vaishnavas. Okay? So it's a very, very mature community actually. You know? And Prabhupada says ISKCON is not different from Krishna's body actually. You know? So we have to see, you know, where we are, what opportunity we are getting. So I was just, one devotee was sharing with me that there's one devotee in Seattle, US. He was working in Microsoft. So along with his hectic work, you know, he was balancing his Krishna consciousness, family, his preaching program. Plus in office, he preached for 5 or 6 years around. In those 6 years, he preached to so many people. From the same office, 60 devotees took initiation. Can you imagine? So that level of, you know, and he was, I think he was the disciple of Jagdish Swami Maharaj. Most. So when Maharaj heard it, Maharaj told him, leave the job. So why Maharaj told, that we will discuss. But the point is, Maharaj gave him much higher service, you know, where he is guiding thousands of devotees and, you know, preaching more. Okay, so this is called as Parinishtita stage. Okay, so person understand my real profession is service to Krishna. My job is only maintenance. So that he has to understand. So and his sadhana becomes, you know, deep. His sadhana becomes deep. So he is not just chanting to complete his round. He wants to taste Krishna consciousness. That is the third level. So we have to see whether I am just completing my rounds or am I improving, you know, my Krishna consciousness. So that's we have to see. So every day it's a chance actually for us to either grow or just stay on that stage or just go down. So before starting chanting, we have to see, should I want to go above, or should I just stay on that stage, or should I, come down? So therefore, chanting is actually the one of the major parameter in our Krishna consciousness. So yeah. So in this stage, sadhana becomes very interesting, very joyful. Okay, person is very much interested in hearing and chanting. So there are a lot of examples of it. Many strong devotees. And person start mentoring others. Now fourth stage, you can see this is called the Nirapeksha stage, completely transcendental independent. So very high stage. These are the stages where Bhaktivinoda Thakur, or if you see His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj, he was working in US or foreign somewhere. So these are like the stages of these devotees. His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj, whatever earning he will get, he will come and give to Prabhupada. And then Mataji will come and she will take whatever is required for payments and all, bill of the house and all. So that is called the Nirapeksha stage, where the person is not interested at all actually in any fruitive activity. So this is an advanced spiritual stage where devotee becomes fully independent of material considerations. So he is not at all concerned with the job actually, but still he do the job. Why? Who can say? Yeah, any other? Set the example.
Complete the duty. That is also an obligation. So you cannot run away from the fighting for Arjuna is a duty. Same, there are duties with us.
Yeah, that is actually the third stage. Parinishta stage. Nirapeksha stage, yes, actually somewhat similar. Nirapeksha stage, person works just for the satisfaction of his spiritual master. His spiritual master wants to work. The day spiritual master says, give up work, come there, he will leave the office. Same day he will resign and go. That is called the Nirapeksha stage. He is not at all concerned with the whatever office work, whatever is going on in his life. He is concerned only with Krishna and his spiritual master. This is high stage actually. So we cannot imitate that. So yeah. And he does not identify himself with the company or whatever it is. So just like Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he was working as the judge or magistrate. So he was also in the court as well. So we can see the life of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, how he was so fast advancing actually in Krishna consciousness. So one point Bhaktivinoda Thakur gave his resignation to Britishers. I'm not interested. So but Britishers said that actually if you work, we will provide you this much facility. You can go there, do your because he wanted to do research work in the Navdeep area. Okay, so he wanted to give up the job. So and he wanted to associate more with Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj, Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj. So but Britishers said that how it can help him. So that's why he continued. These are actually the high stages. Yeah. So devotee perform duties only as long as they are required for service. You can see in Bhagavatam, Kardam Muni, he has married as well. He's taking care of his family and all. But before marriage, he told one statement: as soon as son will take birth, I will leave. So and even Lord took birth in his family, Kapila Muni. Still he left, because that is how he was so eager for developing pure prema for the Lord. So yeah, so yes, so there is no dependence on career, prestige, security. Okay. Simplifying life drastically. So there are many examples in ISKCON of such advanced devotees. Yeah, so I mentioned as well. Yeah, so for the pleasure of spiritual master, for preaching purpose, for serving Krishna, that is the only purpose person works. Actually, otherwise he is not used. So and he lives with a minimal material demands, as less as possible. So like he lives an austere life, and he wants to chant more. He wants to read more. He wants to speak about Krishna more and more. He wants to reach to people more and more. So that is called as Nirapeksha stage. Yeah. So that's why a devotee, he need not abandon his profession to become spiritually advanced. Actually, just like His Holiness Bhakti Ashra Vaishnava Swami Maharaj was explaining in one lecture. So for attachment purpose, materialistic, person, he do lot of hard work, right? Similarly, to give up the attachment, the devotee should do lot of hard work. The work has to be done, but for the purpose of the work, what he is doing, that is very, very important. Okay. So, for the purpose of giving up our attachment to material things, one should work hard for detachment, for Krishna, actually. So, if we work hard for Krishna, living a Krishna-centered life, automatically we become detached. So that is very important. So external occupation may remain similar, but the consciousness changes. Okay. So yeah, so this is actually a document made by Anjaney Sharma Prabhu from Bhaktivinoda Thakur teachings. Yeah. Okay, second thing Krishna says, here you can see, with full knowledge of me, with full knowledge of Krishna. Okay. So what is this full knowledge comprise of? So full knowledge basically means understanding our position. So Dehem Usman Yatha Kaumaram Yavaram Janatata Dehantas Khatu Dhiras Tatranam Niyati. This one shloka, if we just see, just 4 lines. But Prabhupada quotes this, I think it's one of the highest quoted shloka, if I'm not wrong, in Prabhupada lectures. Prabhupada quoted this shloka so many times because that is the root problem. We identify ourselves with the body. That's why we think I am an old person, so how I can do this, I am just a female, how I can go and do book distribution, whatever, all these things. But if we see that there are so many examples, Prabhupada disciples, they were literally practicing Krishna consciousness on the soul platform actually. So why they were able to do? Because of the association of Prabhupada. So one time, Ghanshyam Prabhu, His Holiness Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj. How many of you know His Holiness Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj? Right? You might have seen him. So he came to Prabhupada, and he told Prabhupada that since I am from African background, devotees are not treating me, equally, because all white Americans. At that time, just like in India, there's a, very similar to what in India it is there, Brahminical. If you see 50 years back, the higher caste people, they will very much discriminate with the lower caste people, especially in North India. Okay? So similarly in America, 50 or 100 years back, these white Americans will very much differentiate with the black. So Ghanshyam Prabhu, he told Prabhupada, these devotees are not treating me properly, they are discriminating. And he told a lot of this issue, this devotee told that he is not giving me that service, this and that. Prabhupada told one statement, why are you identifying yourself with this body? You are a spirit soul. If you also behave how they are behaving, then what is the difference? How you are better than them? Okay. So Prabhupada just cut on the, directly. So that's how the Guru is actually, So, and Bhakti, yeah. So his only someone, so Maharaj, he took it at his heart, and Bhakti Tirth Swami Maharaj, Bhakti Tirth Swami Maharaj. So he took it as his heart, as an instruction, and whole life, literally he was above bodily platform. He went through cancer, he's got a bone cancer, his bones became like a weak, when he used to, lift something, book, his bones will crack, so, and he will just cry in pain literally, But still he was very happy, he would, sometime when he was sick, he would, devotees will read Krishna book, and Bhagavatam and all. See, simply in ecstasy, he would simply cry, although so much pain was happening in the body. And you might have seen the videos where he, leaving the body. So that's how understanding our actual position is a very, very important thing. How we, how one advance. And understanding the spiritual master position. The spiritual master is not an ordinary person. He is, sent by the Lord for our benefit. So that is very, very important. Understanding Krishna's position. Okay. And hearing, reading with eagerness to make relationship with the Krishna. This is called Sambandha Jnana. Sambandha Avidya Prayojan. So that's why Sanatana Goswami, he has given elaborate description on Sambandha Jnana. And Prabhupada, in so many lectures, Prabhupada speak about that our relation with Krishna. Mamai Vamshu Jeev Loke Jeev Bhuta Sanatana. Just few slokas if we just consider. Just like when Sanatana Goswami, he was under the subjugation of Nawab Hussain Shah. So there Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes. So then in the night, Sanatana Goswami, Rup Goswami, and small Jeev Goswami. These three. So they go. And Sanatana Goswami says, Ke ami ke me moy ke ne tapatra. Who am I? I don't know. Why I'm suffering so much, and all that. So it's not that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, is giving him some magic tricks or magic formula or something. Nothing. What Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Jeeva Sarupa Krishna Nityada. You are soul, you are servant of Krishna. That's all. Done. And he left everything, came to Vrindavan. So that's why we have to understand what is Krishna's position, what is my position. We have to just, if we just, actually nowadays there is very, superficial lifestyle. We just scroll through mobile, scroll through laptop. So much post we see, so much shorts we see, devotees doing this, this and that, all that. But we don't sit and think actually who am I. So before chanting, even early hours of morning, that's why Prabhupada says chanting in the early hours, 4:30. So in that early hour, we should, before chanting or after chanting, we should just sit and think, what is my position? What am I doing here? How much time is left for me? So, and where am I? What I can improve in? How I can make my relation with Krishna more and more deep. So that's what Krishna is expecting. Krishna is not saying, okay, you just work for me. Whatever is there, okay, you just give me money and just continue your whatever you want to do. It's not like that. It's not a church, Sunday church. Prabhupada says, don't make this ISKCON temple as Sunday church. People just come and give some money and they say that we have done such things. Please forgive us, oh my Lord, and alva matter, and we just go away. So it's not like that actually. Krishna says, Satatam Kirdayantu. 24 hours you have to engage actually. Even at our home, we should make our home as temple. And devotees, staying at the temple is their home. So both are equal actually. So home should be converted into the temple. So that's how we can transform our work as Krishna's service. So that's how the work can be without anxiety actually. So these all 5 parameters have to be taken care, not just okay, I just give some money, or just I will do some work, Generally people think that only, they consider themselves to be the doer, They, work hard in the company and some money, 1,000, 10,000 rupees, they just give some donation, okay? So once in a year, like that, and they think that, okay, I'm such a big person. Due to me, this temple is running. So that is actually, Krishna doesn't recommend that. Krishna wants us to grow above that. There is a difference between working, and giving some result to Krishna than working for Krishna. Okay, what 2 things I told? First one is yes, and second one is working for Krishna. So just like I showed you these different stages, you can see here, Swanishtita stage, person is more interested in the work life, and he is less interested in Krishna. But as person grows, Nirapeksha stage, he works only for the Krishna's sake, otherwise he is not interested. Okay? So he has full faith that Krishna will take care of me, Krishna will maintain me. So that's how it is. Okay, so full knowledge of Krishna. The very nice verses as well I will show you. So devotees can recite after me. Dharmasya hi apavargasya नार्थोऽर्थाय कल्पते नार्थस्य धर्मैकान्तस्य कामो लाभयति स्मृतः. So what we read?
All occupational.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. All occupational engagements are certainly meant for ultimate liberation. They should never be performed for material gain. Furthermore, according to sages, One who is engaged in the ultimate occupational service should never use material gain to cultivate sense gratification.
Yeah. So we can see, Srimad Bhagavatam, this is first canto, second chapter. So message of Bhagavad Gita is exactly, what message of Srimad Bhagavatam, and that's what Prabhupada is also telling. So very clear, it is all occupational engagement are certainly meant for ultimate liberation. They should never be performed for material gain. So one can continue his work, in company, it's not that one has to change his occupation. So one devotee asked Prabhupada that, Prabhupada, here Krishna is telling about prescribed duties, one should do his prescribed duties and all that. But in Kali Yuga, we don't know which varna we are, which ashram we are. So confusing. There is no varnashram only. What to speak of, foreign countries? Even in India, there is no varnashram actually at all. So that's why Prabhupada says, for the best thing is one should take up to as much as devotional service as much as possible. Which is Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smarana, Padsevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasam, Sakyam, Atmanevadanam. So as much as we should take. And whatever profession we are doing, we can just continue that, and whatever money is coming, we should simply engage in Krishna's service. Okay? So that's how it is. Yeah. I think there is no अतापुं वेदजा श्रेष्ठा वर्णाश्रम विभागशः स्वनिष्ठितस्य धर्मस्य संसिद्धिर्हरितोषणम्. O best among twice born, it is therefore concluded that the highest perfection one can achieve by discharging the duties prescribed for one's own occupation according to caste division and orders of life is to please the personality of the Godhead. So in Vedic system, Varnashram is specially designed so that people can, mold their, proclivities towards serving the Lord actually. So of course nowadays we cannot, it's very impractical to practice that. But still we can see actually even in Jagannath Puri, the huge temple is there, and along with temple there are thousands of these Odian devotees, they stay there actually. And some of these people from families, generation to generation, they are, cooking there. Same generation continues to cook. The same generation is making the pot. There is certain family which has to put the flag on the Jagannath temple. So every day, one of the person from the family, he climbs up the whole Jagannath temple. He puts a flag. So like that. But in our current state, we have to see how we can. We have to take direction from the spiritual master. So, yes. Okay, third, Krishna puts condition that without desire for, Now, yes, okay, I will work for Krishna, okay, I will read also, I will, hear about Krishna also, but still, in the back of our mind, we have a desire for profit. We want, if people are coming, for temple, they should give donation. They should, honor me, and this is called a desire for profit. So that's why we have to see that what I am practicing, it should not go toward the sakam karma, it should go toward the nishkam actually. So nishkam karma leads to knowledge actually. So if we do service without expecting any result, then Krishna will give us knowledge. And by that knowledge we can understand Krishna more and more, then we will develop relationship with Krishna. Okay? But if we think, okay, today less people are coming, so let's not do kirtan, we'll just have some small class and just finish up. So it's not like that. For the pleasure of the deities, for pleasure of Krishna, we should, continue, coming here and doing the program. Sometimes if we think, okay, just let's do some small thing in our family only, why to go to the center? But for the pleasure of, this is a preaching movement actually. It's not just, some small movement where we can just, do things at home and just connect online like that. We have to practically come out of our home, come to the center, and come together, which is called as congregation. That's why, coming in association of devotees. So that's why there will be, profit. Our mind always, mindset is like that. Wherever there is profit, we go there. If somebody says, okay, there is some, you can come to the office Saturday, Sunday, you will get extra payment. So we think, okay, let's go. Program is there, no, that we can go later also. So this is called actually, profit mentality. Wherever there is profit, I will go there. But we have to understand that actually we are spirit soul. So our main profit is actually worshipping Krishna. So that's why this bhakti is actually different from the sakam karma yoga. So in our day-to-day life, we have to see that we, raise above this sakam karma, fruitive mentality, which is actually very, very much integrated in our mindset. So it's very difficult to come out of that. But we will discuss the solution also at last. What is the best solution? And we should work to cut attachments. So that is very, very important. We have to take up the work which is helping us in cutting the attachments. Which means we should take up menial devotional services. Okay, just like Prabhuji was mentioning also. We should help in arranging these small things, putting chatai, and all that, putting chairs. So automatically our mind says, why to do? If you do that, people will think that I am a low class person. So, but it will help us to develop attachment to the Lord. So it's not that only the pujari who is doing the worship, he is only Lord is recognizing him. Even if you do very menial service, just mopping the floor or whatever authorities say, so that will help us cutting the attachment actually. So yes, and so what happens sometimes a devotee thinks, since my I am not so much help, my job is not so much helping in my devotional service. Okay, better I will do some big preaching, and I will call thousands of people, and all that. But actually, if you see at the back of her mind, still there is a fruitive mentality. Person wants to become popular. So that's why it is very, very important that we stay always under the direction of spiritual master. So that is the root of our devotional service actually. So we should not stop, we should not cut our route only. So here we can see in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Raghunath Das Goswami, he was very eager to meet the Lord. He was very feeling separation from the Lord. But again Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told him, no, you continue working. Stay with your family and continue working. Don't leave your home. Don't show Markat Vairagya. So this is actually called immature renunciation. So finally, Nityananda Prabhu gave him mercy. So then finally he was allowed to, somehow he came and met the Lord actually. And there's a, I think, Kurma Brahmin in South India, if I'm not wrong. So the particular Brahmin, so he told Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was on the South Indian tour. He was coming from Odisha and then Andhra, all that area. He came to Tamil Nadu, then he again went to Karnataka and all that. So one place there was a Brahmin. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stayed at his home and they both discussed Krishna Katha. And of course Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Supreme Lord, is present in your home. How you will feel. So then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was leaving, and this is normal. Wherever Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will stay for 1-2 days, then he will leave. Everybody will start crying. They will feel so much separation from the Lord. So that Brahmin, he was feeling great separation. He told, "Oh Lord, I'm fed up with this, work and all. So let me just allow me to just come with you." So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told, "No. You stay here and you stay here." Discuss about Krishna, do your Krishna bhajan and preach about Krishna. So that's what is instruction given to him actually. And that's why we can see that His Holiness Jayapatak Swami Maharaj, so Maharaj very much focus on this. Stay at your place, do your work and help in his preaching mission actually. So that is how the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's instruction was. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu didn't told everyone, okay, just leave everything and just come. It's not like that actually. So only for few selected people Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told them, okay, you just Ramanand Rai, if we see, he was working as a governor. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told, leave everything, come. Come to Jagannath Puri. So spiritual master knows exactly what is our position. what is the best for us. So because why, sometimes we think, Prabhupada says this actually, that sometimes living entity thinks, enjoy, bhoga, I will do lot of work, I will earn lot of money, then I will do lot of sanskritization. And after some time he gets frustrated, then he says, tyaga, I will leave everything, I will just chant, and like that. So in Prabhupada time also there were devotees, they were doing lot of services. Okay, so in Vrindavan, devotees in USA, devotees, they were very much, they were going for book distribution, they were building the temples and so much of that. So then Prabhupada announced that in Vrindavan there is a need of devotees, because in Vrindavan we were going to build the temple, right? So devotees were very happy, we will go to, where we will go? Vrindavan. So all of us, we want to go Vrindavan, especially somebody is in US, he's reading about the Krishna book, he's reading about Vrindavan Krishna book, So then automatically, they started thinking, because there was no camera, you cannot just look on internet. So as they read Krishna book, they will think that is how Vrindavan is, There's a beautiful Krishna house, there is Barsara and all that, So they thought, okay, we'll go to Vrindavan and we will just give some work to constructor and we will just go and do our bhajan, fully engage in Krishna bhajan. So then devotees came, yes Prabhupada, you will come and like that, And when they came to Vrindavan, so how people behave in North India. You give them money, you tell them what to do, you tell them, they will tell yes, we will do. You get the material, but after some time you see they have stolen all the material, they have stolen money and they have gone. So it's very difficult to get the work done, in India, especially in North India. People are so much cheating, they every step you have to be present there, you cannot even eat your food, you have to continuously look, what they are doing, they should not loot our money and all that. So the devotees were struggling hard to build the Vrindavan temple, and it was not even, Prabhupada was continuously asking, Prabhupada, if you see, Prabhupada was so much, cut to cut in his services, Prabhupada will ask daily reports, how temple construction is going on. So then devotees will send him the photo of material. Prabhupada, you have got cement. Prabhupada, you have got this, all that thing. Prabhupada tells, what is this? I don't want that. Where is the building? so like that. But devotees, they came with some kind of frugal mentality that, you just relax. We will go to Vrindavan and we will chant Radhe Radhe, we will relax. So then devotees, then Prabhupada came to Vrindavan, then the sannyasi, he was a leading, Of course they were all, not so much trained, So he asked Prabhupada, what is this, I thought, I will chant Krishna's name, I will enjoy the Vrindavan environment, and there is no, sense engagement here, sense enjoyment and all. So I will live a happy life. But again, you are engaging us in construction work, we have to call these people, we have to fight with this constructor and all that, So it is so difficult. Why can't you just chant Hare Krishna? What is the problem? What Prabhupada told? Anybody knows what Prabhupada told? Very powerful statement. So Prabhupada told why you are so attached to your sense gratification. So then the devotee told Prabhupada, sense gratification means, illicit sex, gambling, intoxication, weed eating. I'm not doing all of these things. I just want to, chant Krishna's name. Prabhupada told that is sense gratification. Anything except from the order of spiritual master is sense gratification. That's what Prabhupada told. So I'm also practicing, I'm trying to learn this thing, but I'm just trying to repeat what is the statement. So of course that person couldn't handle that, he left Prabhupada. So but that is how it is, we have to see. We should not be desiring for our own selfish, sense gratification or profit. That's what Krishna is asking. Similarly, here also if you see, Arjuna, he is telling that, I don't want to fight, I don't want to kill these people, they want to kill me, but I don't want to kill them, I'm a good person. So, but Krishna says, this is also sense gratification. You have to fight. So, that's what Krishna says, Mai sarvani karmani, surrender all your work unto Krishna. Okay, now next condition Krishna says without proprietorship. Okay, so I will not, look for fruitability also. Still, the false ego is so powerful that we get the proprietorship mentality. So ahankar, So what is the layer above soul, which covers? There are so many layers above the soul. What is the first layer? Ahankar. First layer is the ahankar. So that's why, which is called as proprietorship. Person start thinking that I am the owner. So that's why we see, there are outside ISKCON, there are big, spiritual societies. People open. They have lakhs of followers and all. But we see sometimes these followers end up going to jail and all that. These big people, big Babajis and all. Why? Because Maya doesn't leave. Maya is not so, simple person, okay, you're a big person, I will leave. Maya is so powerful, So, so that's why a person thinks, I am the proprietor of this big society, I am the owner, I can enjoy. I am such a big person that I can enjoy. So this is called proprietorship. But we see in Shastras, Bharat Maharaj, he was the owner of the whole world actually, he was the king of the whole world. But when he recognized that now I should leave this, Vanaprastha ashram, he completed his duties, he gave this kingdom to his children, and then he simply left the kingdom and went to the forest. And it is said that how he left, just like somebody goes in morning to bathroom, he do clearing and he just leave the bathroom and take bath and come. We never think about what loss I have done. So Bharat Maharaj, he was the owner of the whole world, so many beautiful queens, so much money, everything, he just left everything. Similarly, example of Parikshit Maharaj, So Parikshit Maharaj case, he was a king, since the whole world. Actually, if we just become, in our company, we just become team leader and all, we think, oh, I'm such a big person. But these people, Parikshit Maharaj, Bharat Maharaj, they are not some just team leader of 20 people or 10 people like that. In that also team leader has to work so much. But these people, they are the kings actually. So Parikshit Maharaj, he was cursed. He will die within 7 days. So what he did is just left. So then he came to his spiritual master Sukdev Goswami. Okay. So this is called without proprietorship. So even when, why it was possible for them to leave? Because even when they were working, even when they were kings, they were not, they were still renounced. That's why they're called as Raj Rishis. What they're called as? Raj Rishis. Prabhupada talks about it. So they always work without proprietorship. Okay, so that's why Krishna is telling all these qualities are very important. Similarly, Pandavas. So Krishna asked them to fight for dharma. Krishna asked them to rule. And then Krishna left. They also left. Actually. Similarly, Ramanand Rai. So his spiritual master Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked him to leave and come. Then he did not think, oh, I am a governor. Ramanand Rai was not some normal person actually. He was a big governor. Along with him, hundreds of elephants will travel. Hundreds of ministers will travel. Hundreds of brahmanas will travel. Several brahmanas and all they will also travel. He was a big person actually. He was a governor of whole Tamil Nadu area, I think. Madras area. He was governor of all actually. And this King Prataparudra, he will not come to South India because he had full faith on Ramanand Rai and all these people. So these 5 brothers, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told leave everything and come. He just left. So these are actually the high stages. So we have to gradually come on the stage where we don't recognize ourselves as proprietor. Okay. So I am not the owner. Who is the owner? Krishna is the owner. Actually. Okay, I think this time. So 5th one is without lethargy. Now somebody will say, okay, I am not the owner also, and I am not to enjoy also. I have to do so much of reading about Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, I have to surrender my work to Krishna. So person what naturally he will do? He will okay, he will do some things, he will do his sadhana, but he will become lazy. Correct? So that's why Krishna says, don't be lethargic. So that's how we see, Arjuna is not wanting to fight. You know? That's why Krishna says, wake up, Vigata Jwara. So this Jwara, so what is this Jwara actually? This is called, in two ways we can understand this Vigata Jwara. Jwara, one thing is lethargy, actually laziness. Sometimes you might see that early morning waking up, we are lazy actually. So Prabhupada wants us to wake up early morning, in the Brahma we should chant the holy names, but we feel laziness. This is actually, so if we feel laziness, we should remember this shloka. What Krishna says? Vigata Jwara. Another laziness is weakness of the heart. Okay. So what is this weakness of the heart? We feel attachment to so many other things actually. So similarly, this Dhritarashtra case. So he was blind and he was put to be the king, substitution king. He was not actually the king, but he was substitute king. And this Dhritarashtra, he was so attached to his seat. That's why he's called as Dhritarashtra. He was very much fixed on his seat. So now his 100 sons also died. They lost the war. Still he was not leaving. Actually, everything is done. Still he was not leaving. That's why who comes to wake him up? Yeah, Vidura. Actually, So this is called weakness of the heart. Subtle attachments to all these material things. So that's why if you see Prabhupada Purport, very powerfully Prabhupada speak against that. Okay. Yeah, and we can see if you see the life of His Holiness, Japada Swami Guru Maharaj, so much we can learn actually. See, just try to understand. His name was Jay. His grandfather was the owner of huge paint company. How many of you know that? Some devotees know. So you can read that book actually from Milwaukee to Mayapur. There's a book called Milwaukee to Mayapur. So in free time, devotees can read that actually. I'm also started reading. So, so this boy Jay, what is age? Around 20, 21, 19, 20. Tall, young, beautiful person. He's owner of the, how their house was. Their house had swimming pool. Their house has tennis court. Their house had, everything actually. You can see, just like we have this huge, communities, huh? So his whole independent, that big, what do you call it? Bungalows and plus plus huge park, gardens and everything was there actually. Farmhouse kind, and within the city actually. They were proprietor of around 100 stores, more than that actually. So a huge property. They have millions of dollars actually. One of the biggest company in the US. And just see what the surrender is. Just try to understand. If we would be in that position, what we would be doing? We would be thinking, okay, what my father will say, what my grandfather will say. Now somebody, he's the owner of such a huge company, and they are planning to give him everything. They are planning to make him the owner. During that time, there is some Swami come from India, whose name is A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami. And at that time, ISKCON had how many centers? 3-4 centers would be there, maybe 5-6. And this Swamiji comes and he is teaching about something about Bhagavad Gita and all that soul knowledge, from India. And these devotees, these great souls, they came and surrendered to Prabhupada, and he left everything. And then in the temple there was a need of money. Then the same person who is the owner of such a huge company, he was working in the restaurant to clean the tables. Why? Just to get some money and give to Prabhupada. That is their surrender. That is called as Nirapeksha Bhakta. So he is not thinking, oh, I was such a big person. What this Swami, 100 Swamis I can give them money. No, Guru means Guru. Guru is the heaviest person. There is nobody else can be heavier than that. So that's why called as that's what is the surrender is. Along with that, His Holiness Japada Swami Maharaj, we can see the second point with full knowledge of me. So Prabhupada asked him, to go to Canada, Montreal. Then Prabhupada asked him to come to Mayapur. So in Mayapur there was so much of struggle. Mayapur, what was Mayapur that time? There were no roads, no vehicle, no water, no electric supply, nothing. It's just a fields. So there Prabhupada told we have to build the headquarters. So, so Guru Maharaj, like, he used to travel on the trucks. There's no transport. Some trucks will come. So sitting on the truck, he would read Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita. So one time his Grace Amogila Prabhuji asked Srinivas Jayaprakash Maharaj, how many times have you read Bhagavad Gita and Chaitanya Charitamrita? How many times we should read? Like that Prabhuji asked. How many times we should read? Maharaj told at least 108 times. How many times? How many times? At least number we should remember. We might not read. So then Mugila Prabhuji asked question, Maharaj, how many times you have read? So he was kind of challenging spirit. Have you really read? So Maharaj told, long back. So long back ago I have read 108 times. So Maharaj continuously read actually. So along with that, Maharaj has completed his Bhakti Shastri, Bhakti Vaibhav degrees. So Krishna consciousness doesn't end, just just coming, doing some puja, just chanting 1-2 rounds done. It's not like that. Krishna consciousness is very deep, and more you go deep, more you will find the jewels of Krishna consciousness. So that's why Maharaj has to do, to give exam and all, just for teaching us, just to set the example, and without desire for profit, So not at all any desire for profit actually. Otherwise, how can person continue in such a busy state? So without claiming any proprietorship. So Maharaj actually one of the senior most disciple of Prabhupada. But still in GBC meetings, whenever meetings happen, Maharaj doesn't raise his voice. Whatever GBC, senior junior devotees they say, Maharaj just agree. No claim to proprietorship. I am not the owner of ISKCON. That's how his mentality is. And be free from lethargy. I need not speak on this. So Maharaj is like powerhouse. Even all great, souls, Prabhupada disciples, they're like powerhouse. Sometimes, some people think, "Arey, what these people are doing to the society?" These people just wear saffron cloth, and claim themselves to be saintly person. They are not working. They should do something for society. But actually, we should, answer back them spontaneously. Actually, there's a powerhouse of spirituality. Because of them, hundreds and lakhs of people are practicing Krishna consciousness. If one person just think if Prabhupada would not be there, what we would do. So that's why we have to understand. Someone who dedicates his life for Krishna consciousness, more and more, even in family life or full dedicated brahmachari life or sannyasi life, they are actually not lethargic. So recently his guest Rukmini Krishna Prabhuji took sannyas. So like that, many devotees are progressing in the spiritual life, and we have to take inspiration. We have to take the blessings, and somehow or other we should also progress in our spiritual life. So wherever position we are, and under the guidance of spiritual master. Okay. So that is very, very important. So how to practice this? Actually, Prabhupada explained in purport. So it's very important purport. Prabhupada says that. That's why Prabhupada says that. Such an injunction may make things a little difficult. Nevertheless, duty must be carried out with dependence on Krishna. So when difficulties come, we should take guidance. We should take guidance from spiritual master. Now, spiritual master might not be present with us, every time. So that's why there are representatives of spiritual master, temple president. Here, like center, Prabhuji is leading. So we can take guidance from such devotees. And if we follow their order, if we just help them serving Krishna, if we release their anxiety of preaching to others, then we'll progress very fast. So that's how so our Krishna consciousness, our bhakti grows, by becoming servant of the servant of the servant. So that is very, very important. So we should not directly, think that okay, I will directly serve Krishna at my home, and that's all done. But if we just serve in the mission of Prabhupada, our mission is, preaching especially. We should help in the preaching mission as much as possible. So, yeah. Okay. So I hope I was able to little bit explain the shloka. So it's a quite heavy shloka. So we have to understand Bhagavad Gita very carefully. Krishna is what Krishna expects from us. And okay, there is one more beautiful shloka. I will show you. Nirmama Moha Jita Sangha Dosha. Okay, devotees, you can repeat after me. Nirmama Moha Jita Sangha Dosha Adhyatma Nitya Vinivarta Kama Vande Vimukha Sukha Dukkha Samagne Gachanti Yamuna Padam Avyayam Tat.
Those who are free from false prestige, illusion and false association, who understand the eternal, who are done with material lust, who are freed from the dualities of happiness and distress, and who, unbewildered, know how to surrender unto the Supreme Person, attain to that eternal kingdom.
Yes.
Hare Krishna.
Very nice. So Krishna says, if we follow this shloka, Mai Sarvani Karmani, you see this translation is very much matching, without proprietorship, without false prestige, without false association, If we surrender into Krishna, then what happens? We get eligible for Vaikuntha. So, Sthane Siddhigata Shuddhamata. So, Brahmaji says in Bhagavatam, it's not that we have to change our position, change our occupation and all that. But what we have to change is change our consciousness actually. So, what consciousness should be? This is mentioned. Exactly shown on the screen. We have to put on our mind screen and try to improve it. Okay? So, Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, you want to add?
Thank you very much, Prabhu, for the wonderful lecture. Nothing left. Yeah, Prabhu has given wonderful insights.